G'day punters, welcome back to another ripping edition of All In. Once again joined by Lewis Willoughby, who's at home this week, and Dean Watling has just been coming off the Bricky's laptop, fresh off a beer at the pub. Louis is back there again. Boys, how are we? Dino, first of all, how are you, mate?
Going well, Gannon. It's about time we bounced back on the weekend. So finally nice to fill our pockets. It's been a bit of a lean couple of weeks, but like any good operation, stand up when the races are big and tall. So like it. And Gannon, firstly, I want to go off the mark with our competition winner because they probably forget by the time we get to end the show. But Ben from Twitter reached out. He loves the show. It was his 21st birthday on the weekend as well. So it's very fitting. So Ben, shout out to you and your mates. They tune in every week. They think Gannon's banter sucks, and I think Louis should broadcast more so from the icebergs. But congratulations, mate. Send us a DM on Twitter, and I'll flick you the jumper. So thanks, Ben, for chiming in. Gannon?
Ben, you're all over it. I've got no good gear, and Louis is a genius and should be at the pub more often, without a doubt. Lewis Willoughby, how did you pull up from icebergs, mate? Obviously a massive session last Monday. You stayed away from Roosters trading last week, got us the win. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Happy to be at home this time. Monday. Well, the problem is Mondays and Tuesdays are my Saturdays and Sundays with the way the work schedule works out. So you can let the hand out on a Monday. It was Adelaide Cup Day. It's always a big day for the boys. We ripped and teared at icebergs. It was good fun, but we're back. My punting wasn't so great on the weekend. I'm putting that down to being not prepared on a Monday. So I need some luck. And Dino, can you just hold your fingers up to the camera, mate? They must be red and raw from counting all the cash that you collected on Saturday. Turn it up. What a tipping performance that was, mate. Unbelievable. So, seriously, though, it was really good. And that's what we need, mate. We need someone on this show tipping us into a few winners. So, glad you came to the table for that one.
About time. About time and super stuff there, Dino. For those of you who did miss it, happened to tip the Quinella potentially exacta in the Golden Slipper. So an absolute fill-up. He didn't get to watch it. It was at some festival with teenagers, but that's a different story. All right, punters. So we're going to move straight into the weekend review with a horse to follow from Dino.
Yeah, Gannon, a horse that cost us a small unit in Sydney. Someone probably Louis could have lobbed that. Big parade. He was outstanding. Big weight. I think it's a big credit for the horse to run second, carrying the top weight in a Galaxy. He's on track. I saw that he returned a very good rating as well off that. Even though he was nabbed by the party boy, you just have to laugh there. What a story. Another one, Gannon, race 2. I was on this horse. Mazu was way too good, but Bacchanali for the Godolphin stable sat 3 wide. That wasn't the place to be. He doesn't show much form first up. I was hoping he did Saturday, but he didn't. But he's one to follow on these wet tracks, which seem to be never ending at the moment. So there's 2 for punters, Big Parade and Bacchanali.
Outstanding. And Louis, best ride, mate. Pretty obvious what this one is.
Yeah, it has to go to Brenton, doesn't it? I mean, it was outstanding. Look, I'll give you the story. I was in the car driving to work listening to the slipper, so I didn't see the race. It was a great call. I could tell that he'd obviously shot up from almost out of nowhere. And I walked into work and everyone goes, have you seen the helicopter vision? Have you seen the helicopter vision? I don't know what I'm talking about. They said, sit down and watch it. So I went and had a look. How he started on the horse in the first place, unbelievable. And for it to be in a golden slipper for him to get that horse back up and going, hug the inside, shoot up the fence. And you listen to him talk. He went at the 200 metres when I was still kicking. He goes, I had it won. I just had to get off the back of the rest of them and it was all over. So Brandon Avdulla, mate, welcome to the prestigious club of the ride of the week. He's well in the gun and he's back, isn't he? 2 Metro wins since he's returned from injuries and they're both Group 1s. How's that work out?
Something. And yeah, look, good story, but for another day. Just quietly, while we're on good stories, there's a bloke on Twitter and on reckoned that there was no interference and the horse wasn't poleaxed. Fair dinkum. Give yourself an uppercut. You should win Slaughter, except Slaughter will go to the man that gave him the saloon passage. One Brett Preble, and I'm a big fan of Brett, but fair dinkum, mate. You've cost me a fortune because we're on the 60s anyway. But forget about the 60s. I don't mind losing, but I've lost the case a bit at Dino. Fair income. That takes the tally down to 1. Don't forget that. All right, gents. Here we go. We're going to move into Saturday all-in plays. Louis, over to you, mate.
I feel like I say this every week, but seriously, the action just keeps rolling on. We're really in the thick of it now. And we're going to touch on the Tancred first. These all-in markets, of course, thanks to Tab. They're up on the website now. With the Tancred, let's start here. Duace is the $3 favourite. Think it over at $3.50. Animo, doubtful. $4.50 with Spanish Mission. And after that, it's a pretty big gap. You've got Angel of Truth, She's Ideal, Stockman, and The Chosen One. They're all at $15. So it goes from a few at 3s and 4s straight out to 15s. It's really a race at this stage anyway at the top of the market. Come to you first, Dino, for the Tancred. What's doing?
Yeah, tricky week, Louis. I think all of us are thinking that the weather's gone in Sydney finally, but you look at the forecast, rain's back again. So it could be another very wet track, which doesn't suit Think It Over. I think Gannon mentioned this, Duace. I know he's very keen. He'll touch that in a second. But you look at the market, how does Duace get beat? He's handled the heavy 10, 2 starts ago when a good thing beat, and then went down to Melbourne, Australian Cup, fast run race, absolutely blew them away. He's ticked all the boxes now. So I don't know how you get away from the favourite. I will mention one down the page, Ho Ho Khan on a Sydney Cup path. Not sure if they go here, but he's a smoky for me. But I don't think how you can go against Duace. Gannon, read a score.
Cannot believe the price, $3. Great bet. Handles the wet track. I know 2,400 metres becomes the query, but horses flying, different horse this time in. Think It Over will not handle the wet. Animo surely won't be going there. Spanish Mission, Duace gave it Winburn. Angel of Truth, not up to it. I'll tell you what, there's a couple here that are good place bets as well. So we'll take the $3 Duace, and then we'll back She's Ideal at $3.80 to place. Doesn't mind a wet. Can put in. I think he ran very elegant to half a length. Nearly gave us all a heart attack a few runs back. And what else? We got Stockman, another one that doesn't mind the wet and stepping up a distance as well. So you got $3.80, both of those. And so take both of those and take Duace and Fetting. If you can't, if one of them doesn't Fetting, get up. I won't be on the show next week.
No, I'm with you, Ken. And I think Duace is a huge bet at $3. It's cribbit. Like that Australian Cup win was huge. And I'll go a step further. I think Queen Elizabeth, I know Totsu might be there as well, but I think it has to give it a good shake. And if they don't go the Queen Elizabeth with the form it's in this preparation, they're crazy. I think it's flying, and $3, yeah, bet up for sure, which moves us to the Vinery, which is the next of the Group 1's going to have a look at. Gypsy Goddess heads this Tab Futures market, all in, by the way, $4. Fangirl and Hinged at $4.50. Never Been Kissed at $6. Pretty amazing, $7. And then again, a pretty big jump to the rest. Barbarator and Yearning start them at $15. A few down the page that may be worth mentioning. Argentia at 26. Roots and Stray also there at 26. And there's a few at massive odds as well. Shaping up to be a good race. Back to you, Gano, first with the Vinery.
And I can't go past Hinged, assuming that that's the direction they go in. And here, obviously, in lies the problem. With our stable, there's plenty of horses engaged there. Hopefully, Gunnan is engaged to ride and be just another great story. Other than that, mate, I really don't have much else to add to that, other than if we just quickly turn back to your mention before of Hitotsu. In the Queen Elizabeth there, mate, fair chance if this rain comes and it keeps coming, won't be turning up. Do you know?
Well,
yeah, interesting point there. I think they did mention that. They won't be running if it's wet. On the Vinery, good race. I think Hinge probably has the upper hand on Fangirl here, purely on the fact of its racing pattern. It was super in the Cornwall, come from a long way back, and we saw it win the Surround when it mapped perfectly. Up on speed there, which could be the key. We've seen them probably over the last couple of weeks. It's a definite big advantage with these Rosehill wet tracks to be up on speed. So that's my knock on Fangirl. She was super in a race. She couldn't win the far lap, just got too far back. And like I said, it wasn't a day you could make good ground. Small field didn't suit her. So if we get a bigger field, more tempo, that's her best shot. But for mine, Gunn, I'm with you here on Hinge. I think it's a smart play up on speed, as long as she draws well, and we know she eats mud, so she's come back a much better horse to this prep. So for mine, Hinged on top. Louis?
Yeah, look, I'll follow you guys in there. I don't have a huge opinion on the race at this early stage anyway, so I'm happy to follow the bets of you two in, as should be all the punters as well. The Tulloch Stakes, speaking of the Totsu, it's in the market here and it heads it, but it's doubtful, of course, as you just mentioned, all this rain about they're not going to come if there's rain, yada, yada, yada. So this really becomes a very interesting all-in market here with the Tab the Tulloch. It's $2.80 Hitotsu, but if it doesn't come, it's $8 and longer the rest. So if you've got an early opinion and you think Hitotsu won't come, you're probably getting some pretty good value here. So with Hitotsu out of the market, let's take a look at it like this. Allegron and Can't Go Wong and Elzami, they're $8 3 apiece. Character, Maurice is me dad, Patern, Raging Bull, Regal Lion. There's a whole heap of them at 11s. And then if we go a bit further down, Money from the Sky, Benno, Zoom on are at 15s and starting to weaken down a bit after that. But as we mentioned, Dano, and I'll get to you here, there's some pretty big prices here for some horses that will obviously start much shorter if Hitotsu doesn't show up.
Yeah, you've summed it up super there, Louis. Like you said, there's got to be value to be found when you knock out a $3 favourite in all-in market. And I think I've found one. I'm very up and about this horse. Character, come back for the Godolphin Yard. It was a massive win returning at Kembla. Then was Super last start. Comes through the far lap, I'm pretty sure. Sectionals was Super. Again, that was a really slowly run race. It was a sit and sprint. And I think it shows credit to this horse how well he found the line off a sit and sprint. That's always a good pointer for horses stepping up and tripping. You can find one with a turn of foot that gets over 2,000 metres. It's the horses that I like to get to. Handles the wet. And 2,000 metres suits, like I said. I'm keen to play this horse around that $13 mark. And if Hitotsu's there, it will start half that price. Gannon?
Can't argue with Character on everything you said there. It does go up 500 metres though, so that's probably my only query on a heavy track. But your boys, pretty simple one for you guys. You know exactly where I'm going. Zoom on wasn't great in benchmark grade, but gets to a very, very winnable race here. We'll be out in front. We're doing all the hard work, but potentially doing the easy work as well. Give them something to chase. TC on board, carves out easy sectionals. When I am looking for all-in bets, I am looking for leaders simply because if a field does fall away, it's more advantageous on-pace horses. So Zoom on for me, $15. And we're on around the hundreds. Everyone on Twitter, any of the Twitter followers for the Derby. So look, part of this, to be honest with you, part of this is a bit of hope that it comes out and does brain them, but it will give a huge sight. So Zoom on around what have we got there? $15 and $4.50, and definitely no arguments with Dino. So probably back on both for a profit.
I'm going to throw one in. I like Elzami. I thought it was really unlucky behind Predeturn last Friday. Whether they back up or not, I'm not sure. Character definitely Dino, but yeah, Elzami for me. I'm a big fan of the horse. I thought it was a good chance on Friday, but obviously the Valley doesn't suit its get-back racing style, and I appreciate what you say, Gannon, about backing horses up on speed if a field starts to fall away. That's 100% correct. But I have had a bit on Elzami, not at the 8s. It was a bit longer than that. But, hey, I can't blow the trumpet till it wins, mate. Don't you worry. I cannot blow the trumpet till it wins. But that's a good addition of the tally. I'll just come back to you, Gano, for the last one. It's the Emancipation. Anavisto at $3.50. Promise of Success, $6. Very Hard at $7. Kiss on All Four Cheeks at $7. Argentia and Expat and Mimoli, $8. And that rounds it out in single figures. Have you got a quick thought on the Emancipation?
Does anyone also want to back Promise of Success? If it drew a barrier last starter, wins. Dino?
Yeah, I didn't have a huge opinion, but I think the barrier is the key. If it draws well, it's a load-up job. Like you said, it should have won the Coolmore. If Lighthouse was here, it'd be firm favourite. So agree.
Outstanding. All right, boys, we move on to the Valley on Friday night. We've got one race to preview. Geez, not much going on here. It's a Louis Willoughby special. We're going to jump in here. The William Reid Stakes, Moorabbie. $1.80 now. September run, $11. The Inferno, $11. Ooh, something there. The Astrologist, $15. Generation, $18. Jonker, $18. Pretty good, that one. Lewis Willoughby, what do you got?
Moorabbie picks itself here, doesn't it? $1.80, I don't know. Maybe it could end up being. The only thing I'll say before I say I want to launch into Moorabbie is that I think 1,200 metres in a Group 1 is not its go. Its only saving grace here is that it is at the Valley. But I don't think they're going to let it get away with murder up in front. They can't, because it will win. And if they take it on high pressure 1,200 metres, and I love the horse, I'm just saying it's the only way maybe that it'll get found out. I think 1,000 to 1,100 is its best. 1,200 in a Group 1, maybe it'll show us if it's a yes or no on Friday. 1,200 metres in any other race, sure, no worries, because you're up against a bunch of nobodies. But high pressure 1,200 Group 1, that's the only concern. I think the Inferno's definitely got a case. It ran very close to Wild Ruler back in a Group 1 here last preparation. It almost fell. We saw first up down the straight. It had absolutely no luck when Profiteer just completely took it out. So that's one I'm not willing to overlook. And Jonker as well. Pulled up, I think it scoped with mucus or something went wrong there last start when Marabi went straight past it. If it's back, then maybe $18 is a touch of overs. What is it, about $4.70 to place as well? It could fill a hole. I'd need to see the speed map here before I launched into $1.80 about Marabi. That's the only knock, but nonetheless, give me another cracking race from the Valley.
Absolutely. And Dino, any push for anything else outside of Marabi?
I think the only one Louis mentioned, the Inferno, just total forgive that first run, got poleaxed by the stallion now, Profiteer, and played no part, was good home and has had a jump out, I think. I watched it last night. Very impressive. Yeah, exactly. So it's up and fit. I think it might be going to somewhere to Adelaide after this. And I think it won the Moya, the exact same track. So as long as they can run on, I think Inferno around that $11 is a big price off of forgive. But Marabi, I keep being against it and it keeps showing me up. So keen to see how it goes.
Outstanding, boys, and give us your best all in play for the weekend. First of all, we'll go Dino, then Louis, then I'll close out.
Yeah, mine's in the Vinery. Hinged, best all in play for the weekend. Up on pace, bulletproof, loves the wet. That's for me, Gannon.
Yeah, I'll go Duace. Easy done, $3.
Absolutely, I'm with you, Louis. Duace, $3. Best all in play of the weekend.
To round us off here, of course, we've got to steer the punters into a few winners before we get to next Saturday. So let's go straight to Wednesday, midweek best bets. We've been doing all right with these. I'll kick us off selfishly. Mine's very short and sweet. It's a horse that I actually haven't spoken about much, and maybe not a lot of people will know it, but it goes by the name of Show Some Decorum, and it's running on Wednesday at Sandown in a benchmark 78 over the 1,400 metres. It's a pretty small field. And this thing's absolutely flying. So show some decorum, fellas. Not many know it, so keep it hush-hush, huh?
Oh, Louis, nothing like the confidence of an owner. I had a moral in the first at Warwick Farm. I sent this to Gannon today and jumped on this afternoon ready to do our Wednesday best bets. And, of course, that's his best bet for Wednesday. So I'll find something else, Gannon. You can have that winner. I'm going to go race 7, horse I love, Dragonstone. Was backed off the map last start. In the Marzoo race, put up 2 out of 5 lame, loves the wet, loves Warwick Farm. I know how to carry the big weight, but gets Tyler Schiller in the saddle, drawn off rails. It's a bet around that $5 price. Gannon, what do you got for us, and what did you steal this week?
Sorry, mate, just scrolling through the messages here, just trying to see what time it was that I tipped you into this thing at $3.40. Again, I'll send you the text message just into $3.20. So while I'm sending you the text, you've also backed it on me, so that's great. Mate, we're going to go to the first race, King of Naples. You sent back, you go, oh, mate, 2 800-metre trials. Please, just go watch it. The text that comes back, Louis, do you want to tell the punters what came back?
I don't even know. I was getting it up.
I'm not even sure when you mentioned the show, but pretty much he said he was very, very excited. That was the best 90 seconds of his life. So there you go, punters. King of Naples, $3.20. Race 1 at Warwick Farm is the best, and those the best bets are just coming up on the screen there. So chime into those. Maybe take a bit of a multi, and just quietly. I've run out of beer. I've got 6 days of isolation left. I'm under duress. If anyone works with Dan Murphy's, feel free to slide into my DMs and send the to beer. Boys, pleasure as always. Good to see everyone sober this week. It's been good stuff. Punters, as we always say, your comments are our oxygen. Chime in. We do this for a heap of fun. We do it to steer you into winners, but we do love your feedback. Please subscribe, get involved. Dino, Louis, anything else for the punters?
No.
Well done.
Good.
Louis, Roosters, morals?
It's going to be a great game, isn't it? Wow, Friday night. I'm stuck at work. I might even try and get my shift changed, to be honest. I don't know. I don't think I could be at work. So if you hear me on Sky One on Friday night and I sound either very happy or very, very angry and sad, you can assume it's either the Roosters are winning or the Roosters are losing to South. But give him strength. They were good on the weekend.
If you catch Munsey, mate, hit him up for a case of Peroni Reds.
Ah,
Easy bet.
I only drink
Righto.
Nastro Zeros, mate.
Right, punters, super stuff. Thanks for your time, and we'll be back next week.